Two municipal mayors in Chautauqua County are speaking out about their disappointment in the county executive's plan to spend funding under the American Rescue Plan Act. Jamestown Mayor Eddie Sundquist and Dunkirk Mayor Willie Rosa say they're frustrated that County Executive P.J. Wendell's plans to spend $24.6 million allocated by the federal government did not include projects in either of the county's two largest population centers. Joining us live on the program are those two local leaders to discuss more about where their frustrations come from. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us, Justin.
First, let's start with that. What led you two to speak out about the county's plan?
Well, Justin, I think that first and foremost, both Mayor Rosas and I, as mayors of the largest cities in the county, we've got a lot of needs. We have high poverty rates. We have a lot of additional support. And we really want to push the county to make sure that they are transparent in this process, that they are working with the cities together. There is a lot of opportunity for us to combine funding to make projects even better. But what we unfortunately have seen is not a lot of interaction. And we've had one or two meetings maybe on some potentials, but as cities who've already put forth plans for dealing with this funding, who we've gone through and we've talked to the public, we've had listening sessions. I know Mayor Rosas was out there talking to the community left and right, and we've gone through, we've gotten that feedback, but we haven't seen the same thing from the county. And we've seen that the county's getting ready to vote on those projects with little to no public input at all.
Mayor Rosas, to that point, is there anything that for you in Dunkirk that you were looking forward to participating with in the county with collaborative projects? Because it's a lot of money standing alone, but I'd imagine if you were to somehow combine some of the funding, it could be endless what we could see locally.
Yeah, so early on in the process, upon the announcement being made that the county and the two cities and other municipalities within the county were receiving funding, I did have a discussion with our county executive over in his office, where I approached him to see if we would be able to work collaboratively on a countywide road paving program. Currently in the city of Dunkirk, I feel that the process and the structure that we use for paving roads in the city is inefficient. And I was hoping that we could collaborate using some of these funds to change that whole structure on how roads are paved throughout the whole county so that all communities in the county could benefit from this. And so I haven't been, it hasn't been well received. I don't believe that this is something that the county would like to take on with these funds. I have spoken with Mayor Sundquist, and we both agree that there's other initiatives that we could collaborate with the county on that would benefit not only the two cities, but also other communities within the county. So it is a disappointment because the two cities, as well as the county, have received plenty of funding. And if we work together, I believe that we can accomplish more and more county taxpayers could benefit from it.
Yeah, and Mayor Sundquist, to that point in particular, is that where your thinking is as well, is when you have these large-scale projects that really span Chautauqua County, that's something that you and Mayor Rosas are on the same page with?
Absolutely. Mayor Rosas and I were joking right before we started that, I've talking to him a lot this week, right? And the reality is we talk and we try to coordinate projects the best we can. And, I think the biggest thing that we see, especially as cities, is that when we have a county that is losing population, that is starting to struggle, this is really an opportunity for us to completely change the landscape of Chautauqua County and of the cities that make up the population base. And to not be included in on it, granted, we understand that we've received, our own funds, but we have the largest concentrations of poverty. We have the largest needs. And at the end of the day, our population centers are what keeps the county going. And to not be included in on that process, to not open up that process as a transparent way that we, as citizens of the county, as municipalities of the county, can comment and provide feedback is really a disservice to all of the residents and taxpayers.
Yeah, and to that point, you said in the statement that you released yesterday that you too felt that the county should have done more with engaging with the public. How could they have done better in that sense of trying to connect to those stakeholders?
Well, from my standpoint, I think that reaching out to the community, as Mayor Sundquist and his team have done, as well as our team here in the city of Dunkirk, we use the Northern Chautauqua Community Foundation to help us. We've done several of these presentations, public presentations, not only to include the public and inform them of the funds that we got and what projects we're able to use them for, but also to get some feedback from them. We have proposed to our council already projects that we would recommend, and I know that the city of Jamestown is at that point as well. So these are things that have been very public. I think including the community members is important, and I didn't see that happen at the county level. But again, for me, it was more important to state here that the two cities are a major part of the county. We carry almost 50% of the population in the whole county, and to not be included in this funding is very disappointing.
Yeah, and do you know if there's still time for the county to say, hey, we want to work with you on some of these larger projects, or at this point, are the three municipal bodies likely to invest separately?
I know that there is a meeting, the county legislature does have a meeting. I believe on the agenda is the proposal for these projects. So I don't know how much time is left or if there's any way that we can still be included. But again, it's very disappointing. It looks as if we are still going to be working in our own silos as opposed to the county taking the leadership role in uniting all municipalities in the county. We're going to lose out on a golden opportunity to change things moving forward.
Yeah, and that's what I guess we'll see later today when the county legislature meets to discuss what the next steps are. Mayor Eddie Sundquist and Dunkirk Mayor Willie Rosas joining us on the program. Thank you both for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And tonight, Executive P.J. Wendell is slated to present his 2022 executive budget during the legislature meeting. Officials are expected to talk about the 43 projects that they proposed so far, which the funding would use. Viewers can watch his address live right here on WNY News Now starting at about 6:30.